I have a special video I'm going to do, or series, I should say, of videos, and it's going to be a 5-parter. Now, as you can see on the penny rolls in front of me, it's written errors. Now, I did my penny run a couple days ago, like I had mentioned on the channel, and at one of the banks, there is another penny roll hunter. Now, what this person is actually doing, I have to be honest with you, I'm not sure. They write shiny on some, they write the dates on others, and then for the first time that I've been there, I've gotten ones that they've obviously wrote errors on their penny rolls. Now, the reason this is going to be such an interesting series is because we're going to look inside the mind of a different penny roll hunter who what they consider to be errors. And we're going to compare somebody else's what they would consider to be errors with me, what I consider to be errors. And according to this, it's the whole penny roll. To have a whole penny roll full of errors, the energy and amount of penny rolls you'd have to find, you might find 1 or 2 errors if you're lucky per penny roll. And here we got 5 penny rolls, 200. So the chance of these being errors, I am super duper duper skeptical of that. And we're gonna start taking a look at them today. Now, this is what I'm gonna do. In the event that the penny rolls are not interesting, right? In the event, well, I hope they are. I hope there are 250 errors here. I hope the person is sending me a nice gift, which of course they don't know me. I doubt they watch my videos. The chance of that happening would be super rare. But if it's as I expect, which is not errors, then, and there is copper here. So they send their copper back. It's one of the reasons why I don't just put this person's pennies in with my what's the word I'm looking for? My zinc cents, is because they're sending copper back. So they have to be at least looked through to separate the copper from the zinc, even if there's nothing else to look for. But in this case, well, we're about to find out what this person considers to be errors. And I'm super curious to compare what they consider to be errors and what I consider to be errors. All right. And here is penny number 1. The L does touch close to the rim, and there is the ridge ring going around. Otherwise, no error. Okay. There's a little bit of mechanical doubling outside the column. Could be. I doubt that's a strike through. It could be a strike through. Those could be minor strike throughs. Minor grease strike. $88. No flare G. And I think we have our first copper penny. And it's an 82. Inside the columns, there's something. I don't know if that's anything. I doubt it. The 2 looks a little extra thick towards the bottom. See, 82s I would never throw back to the bank. All right, so what this person is looking at, I think, are the ridge rings. This one has no ridge ring. This one looks very thin. I got to take out my scale. A couple of them look really thin. I just want to make sure that the person is not weighing them and they might be. I'm wondering if they're weighing every one of their pennies. No, I'll take a couple of these. These are the ones we just did. No. Just to see if there's like a super out of tolerance penny. Nope. You know what I mean? To see if they're weighing their pennies. Nope. If they are weighing their pennies and because they're not exactly 2.5, they're saying it's an error. I'm just wondering. Yeah, I mean, they're a little up and down from 2.5, but the person probably doesn't even know what out of tolerance means. Yeah, you see? They're calling these errors. Now, I probably will not. Well, maybe I will rehash this multiple times in the upcoming videos. But I just would like to show my audience, because most of you out there are in this category. Okay, that's just the bottom line. Got some shapes up here in the rim. I doubt if it's anything special. Most of you out there are in this category. Okay. Oh, a 1970 S. Okay, that's a variety. Look at that. Thank you, amigo. This is a $1 penny that they donated to the channel. That's awesome. Copper, of course. Here's another copper. Yeah, it has the double rim, misaligned rim. Guess they're calling that an error. And it's nothing to be ashamed of, and it's not a jab at anybody. I started off the same way. The way this person is identifying errors a couple years ago, so was I. And unfortunately, the person is not watching my channel. If they were, they would be learning about what the errors are on pennies. This person does not know that actually might be an error. Unless it's, let me look at that to make sure it's not a piece of junk. I'm going to have to try this. If I can scratch it off, it looks like a piece of copper or a piece of the clad. Is it coming off with my scratching? No, it's not. So it's a cud. Okay. They found the cud. Okay. That's something. So the penny roll is a little bit more interesting than a common typical penny roll, because they are looking for something. That's the wide AM. Okay, then I would really been saying, all right, they know what they're doing to some degree. It's not a wide AM. It's just a regular 2000. And I want to figure out why they thought these were errors. Oh, there's little marks. I don't even think it's a die clash. I don't know. I don't see anything there. It has ridge ring on the bottom on the reverse. It's got to be the ridge ring. They got to be looking at ridge ring and thinking. The truth of the matter is, ridge ring is a type of an error. It's just it's very common though. It's almost like a slight misaligned die. Yeah, I guess technically, it is an error. Oh wow, that's a lot of blisters. Again, well, I know why they put it in there because it looks odd. Again, misaligned die. Make sure there's no flared G. No flared G. Saw something on the rim there real quick. What's on this rim here? Oh, look at that. You see that on the rim? Huh. That's the second one we found with shapes on the rim. Where's the other one? I think it's also on the reverse, right? Right there. That it? Oh, it has a little die spike on it. Oh no, that's the head. Look at that. I didn't realize this before. I picked up one of the other pennies, the previous pennies. It has the die clash head. Oh, look at that. I didn't even notice that. They noticed something I did not notice. But where's the one that had the little marks on the reverse? Or on the rim, excuse me. No, that's not it. Oh, that's the cud. So there are several errors that they did find the die. I'm assuming that was the die clash that they were looking for. I would love for this person to make me eat my words. That's dirt. Look at the E. Most likely mechanical doubling. It is cool looking. Let me check that out under the loop. And there is a really, really strong clad break disruption under the E and through the E there. So I'm pretty sure that's why they put this as an error. Also pretty cool. Okay. So they are putting to the side. Oh man, if that was a small, imagine they would have given me $1 million penny. It's really, I guess because of the rust. There's a line going through his head too. Okay. So the person goes to the same bank that I do, one of them. And the other bank I go to, I could have, I really thought it was the other bank that I found the penny rolls that said shiny on it. The chance of two different banks having the word shiny written on it, miles and miles and miles apart, and they're different banks. They're not the same branch. So either It was from the same bank. It had to be from the same bank. I just kind of don't remember it. I thought it was from the other bank. So this person is able to identify stuff. I'm hoping that the errors that I'm finding are the ones that, for the reason that they put them into the like this one. I'm wondering if it's just because of the discoloration they put it as an error. Which of course it's not an error. Oh, top of the E, no rim. I don't see it. They're just identifying a lot of, when they're chewed up, they're calling it errors. Or they're calling these little marks errors. Yeah, those aren't. I don't think those are strike throughs, because you can see the metal coming up like if it was hit. So they don't know the difference between a strike through and post mint damage. That's common. 99. No white AM. So we're going to look inside the mind of, well, a penny roll hunter who has some. See, they're calling these errors. They're not errors. Who is, starting off, and they're probably just doing this for fun, which of course is all right. This one, obviously, it's a misaligned die. It's a pretty serious misaligned die. Both sides. No, the other side's just dirty. That's a good misaligned die. It's a little bit more misaligned than the average misaligned die. Really bowl shaped like too. This is probably a 50 cent or a dollar penny also. So I hope you found this interesting. I find it interesting, the whole going to the bank, looking at penny. I find things interesting that a lot of other people don't, which is getting into the psychology of, or a person's understanding of what they're doing, and who it is, the history of the. Here goes another misaligned die. It's another pretty nice one. I'll put it with the other one. What? It's very thick too. I'm gonna weigh it. Look how thick that is on the edge. Yeah, 314. It's a little heavier, slightly. That could be why it looks like it has a bowl shape to it. I'll put that with the other one. And it's funny how the bottom ones are a lot. There's a lot of copper on the bottom. The 84D, I guess it's the D. They think the D is a repunch mint mark. I don't think so. But I'll look at it under the loop. Well, if that's not dirt under there, I'm gonna have to very quickly wet it. And on the bottom of the D, there is another D. I think it's dirt. Find out now. I'm gonna clean it with my shirt. Bottom of my shirt. And my fingernail. All right, let's see if it came off. It came off. You see? All they had to do was clean it a little bit. I mean, it's an interesting looking D, don't get me wrong. Turn upside down. But the bottom was dirt, and it did look like a double die, but I knew it was dirt. They didn't know it was dirt, so all they had to do was clean it a little bit. Okay, the letters on the bottom of trust, the T and the T and the R anyway are gone or very weak. Could be from grease. Light strike. 92 does not have the close AM. If it was the close AM, they would have gave me $100. Okay, we got a little. What is that there? A die chip? Oh, so there was a die chip on it. Unless that's a bulge. Well, there's other little marks. Yeah, I don't know. Could be a die chip. So they are taking their time out and looking at the coins. They just don't know what they're looking at. For the most part, that's my opinion. There was that one die clash. You see, above the Liberty, it has those little whatever, clad anomalies. It's slightly misaligned die. They could be looking for that too. All right. And they really do send everything back, which is great. And now I know I can penny roll hunt through their coins because they're not removing the copper, which is really pretty important. That's thick too. Not super thick. I doubt it's heavy. And they really don't know 1970D. That R looks extra thick. I'll have to look at that under the loop. And the E, I'm assuming that's what they noticed. I'm not sure. Nah, that's deteriorated die. Yeah, so there's a bunch of copper in here. We got about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 coppers. So that's tremendous. They're putting a ton of copper in here. Yeah, this is ridge ring. They like the ridge ring, whoever this person is. I like to tell them to watch my videos, I could find out who they are. And they can learn. No wide AM. They can learn about penny errors. Maybe it's the clad. They put it to the side because of the clad. I do that too, but this is kind of weak. There's some that are real, real bumpy. They have to be really. I mean, it's cool looking, but it's not quite there yet. But you never know. They might just like it. Misaligned die. Yeah, so they're looking for misaligned dies. They're looking for damaged coins. I mean, the 1970S. I have a tube just for those. How many do I got? I could show it to you. I got it right here on my desk. See? I keep the 1970Ss. So I'm gonna add one. I only have 3. They're very hard to come by. I get one every 20, 30, maybe not even one a month. No, I got only maybe one every 60, 70 penny rolls. I'll get a 1970S. So that's a treat. This thing has I think that's post mint damage. But that's what they're identifying as the error. It's not an error. A lot of copper, man. They put a lot of copper. Yeah. They're looking for misaligned dies. They're looking for interesting rims. I really doubt that they saw that. That could be a strike through. A little piece of shard. They're noticing. Oh, look at the bottom of the stairs. If it is anything, it's weak. So, I mean, they're giving it a shot. But the problem is, now, I used to use this example with someone when I used to do counseling. Right? And I used to work with the addicts and alcoholics. I used to ask them what's the ultimate goal, and they would say the ultimate goal is to stop using. Right? I say, okay, now you have a destination, right, where you want to go, and you know where you're at, right? You're at a place where you want to, you have a pretty long journey ahead of you, right? Okay. That's interesting. Now I said, now let's say your destination is California, and you're in New York, right? Now someone says, okay, they point the direction, but the direction is off a few degrees. You can end up from those few degrees. You can end up in Washington instead of South California, or Oregon or Canada, right? Not because you have a general idea of where you want to go, but ju- just by being off slightly, you're going to end up. You could actually end up. Well, I don't want to say just as much because I don't think it's 5,000 miles from the bottom of California to the top of Oregon. It's probably about 2,500 miles or something like that. Maybe it's even 3,000 miles. So you got 2,000 miles closer, but you're still so far away. You might not even know where you're at. And life is like that in a lot of this one here. I have to get into a little bit. It looks like it has it has doubling on the end. And I'm not sure if that's what they picked up on or not. Definitely has doubling on the end, and the bottom of the letters are kind of blended in. So I don't know. Could be a double die. That always doubled. Also, really nice. Let me look at the other letters. And and coin roll hunting. Oh, there's a nice die spike too. Yeah, this. Oh wow. Yeah. So this is a double die. I wonder if they really knew this was a double die. They just saw the die spike. So there's a die spike there between the I and the R. And if you look at the M, I've got to get a little closer. You can see the doubling on the bottom of the N. Quite a few of the letters have doubling on it. You can see the bottom. Look at the M. So it's a double die. It has a die spike. It has a grease strike. And it has doubling. Look at the O and the N. It's great. This could be a valuable penny. So, in learning about penny roll hunting and coin errors, if you're just doing it aimlessly, you know, you're actually going to pick up a lot of the wrong information. And I know, first of all, because number one, I was like that, right? And I was fortunate enough to have good members. I have members. My members are very knowledgeable about coins, and they're active in the channel. And they've been with me for a long time, and they taught me a lot of things. I'm very thankful for that. But if you don't have someone teaching you about this, right, which my channel is supposed to be that tool for you, and you're just looking through pennies and you're pretending like you know what you're doing, or you're guessing, or you're really going to end up in a different place than where you want to be, which is knowledgeable. You'll just be like, oh, you won't really learn anything, I guess is what I'm saying. This is a good coin. Might be a $10 coin, might be a $20 coin. And this person's obviously spending time going through. Okay, again, they're looking at the misaligned die, the rim errors. They're paying attention to that. That's so. I mean, that's part of it, you know. And there's also a grease strike on the reverse. I guess they noticed that. Anyway, watch my videos, and if you ask thoughtful questions below, then I will respond to them. Obviously, I can't just look at people's coins, right? I really don't have time for that. Unless somebody wants to make a donation, you can make a donation to the channel. Give me a $5 super chat, and yes, I will look at it. I will look at a penny for you, or a different coin, and to give you my honest opinion about it, and that might help you out, right? Comparing the thought process, that might help you out with learning about coin roll hunting. I don't see anything on that one. And last but not least, an 83D. Ah, that must be what they saw. There's too much damage there, man. Let me just look at that under the loop anyway. You gotta see if it's worth cleaning or not. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it. It's just too much damage on the reverse. It could be an error. It's probably something else though. Um, so what they're doing is they're basically just noticing stuff, that's like, this is a good example of that. They notice something on the reverse that might be an error, and they're calling it an error without really knowing. And I think that's what they're doing. They're looking at the rim. Oh, the rim has a little extra line on it. So they are noticing anomalies with the coin, and they're calling it errors, but they really don't know what they're looking at. And that's okay. I mean, that's how you start off. But if they don't get some direction, they're going to be wandering aimlessly forever, and they're going to end up somewhere that they did not want to end up at, right? They want to go to San Diego, they're going to end up in Ontario. They're going westwards, kind of, but they're going to end, and they might even end up further away from when they started. Remember, if you get wrong information, right? If the information you get is incorrect, and that becomes, and you think you're right about something, you're actually harming yourself, right? Because you're learning something incorrect. What do they used to call it? You're getting misinformation, and that's actually more harmful than if you just stood where you were and you never learned anything, because you're learning the wrong stuff and you're thinking you're right. Now you have to unlearn all that nonsense. And I remember there's one of my members, his name is Eric, Kenai Collectibles. You can find him on YouTube. And he used to tell me about the things that I used to find and the errors. And I kind of argue with them, not in a bad way, but like, disagree with him, I guess, is like, what do you mean? Or he would say, like, one of my favorite examples is when he told me about the 2023 V a couple years ago. And I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden, no, he said the 2023 extra V, but I didn't know what he meant by that, right? So I was looking for V's on all my pennies, and I was putting to the side pennies that looked like they had a V on them. Obviously, they were just scratches. It was post mint damage. He was like, nah. He was like, nah, man. It's the V on the 2023. So then I found all these V's post mint damage on 2023. He's like, nah, man, they're right here. They're here. They're in a certain place, and they look like a V. And I looked. Then I started looking for examples of it online. Then I started researching and using my brain instead of like an idiot, just making stuff up, right? And that's what a lot of us do. A lot of you out there are doing is you're making things up. Okay, and this channel is supposed to give you correct direction. So then he said. So then I said, okay. And guess what? After that, I was like, oh, none of these pennies that I found, these hundreds of pennies I found, none of them are what I ended up in Alaska when I was trying to go to Mexico because I didn't know what I was doing. He gave me direction, but it needed to be refined. It needed to be refined. And since then I found 2023. I actually sent him my first one. Eric, if you're listening, you remember the one I sent you. That was a nice one. And I found 3 since then. Worth about $25 now. They're worth about $7, $8, $10 back then. So that's what my channel's here for, to give direction and to tell stories. I got some people don't like me telling stories. And again, that's a minority, right? Because you get one out of 1,000 people. 'Cause I got thousands of, tens of thousands of people are watching and hundreds of thousands, millions of views I've had on my channel so far. So the people who have something negative or critical to say about my channel, they're in the super, super minority. Oh, focus just on penny. I can't do that, man. You understand? Because I would just stop doing this channel because it would be boring to me. So I like talking, and that's what I do. I talk. All right. God bless. Hope you enjoyed the show. This is episode. I think it's 515. That's what I think it is. I think it's episode 515. Yeah, this is episode 515. Yeah, I'm gonna finish off this person's. We're gonna do one of these rolls every day, and see what's what. All right. Hope you enjoy. Take care.